Good morning dear students. Hope all of you were following all the lessons and you must read the textbooks and do all the activities by reading it. Okay, then only you can understand the concept well. So in the previous classes we have discussed about the components of food, that is nutrients, roughages, water, etc. So in nutrients we have discussed about several nutrients, isn't it? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, these are all the nutrients which is essential for us, isn't it? So nutrients play vital role in our growth and maintenance of our body, isn't it? So today we are going to discuss about the deficiency diseases. We studied that each nutrient play different role in our body, isn't it? So each of the nutrients will be having different role and that is very much important for our proper growth and maintenance of our body. So can you imagine the lack of nutrients? It will lead to several discomfort in our body, that is almost all of the functions will not be possible due to the lack of these nutrients. So nutrients are vital for our body. So deficiency diseases occur due to the lack of those nutrients. Is it clear? So it is the condition, deficiency is the condition in which the lack of nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals which is continuously over a long period of time is called as deficiency. It will lead to deficiency diseases. Is it clear? That is the condition in which the lack of nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals over a long period of time which will lead to a condition called deficiency diseases. Okay, so there are many types of deficiency diseases like protein deficiency disease, then fat and carbohydrate deficiency disease, then vitamin deficiency disease, mineral deficiency diseases. So these are all the deficiency diseases which will occur due to the lack of those nutrients and other minerals, etc. So first we are going to study about protein deficiency disease. It is also called as kwashiorkor. It is the most common protein deficiency disease, mostly occur in the children of the age between 1 to 5 years. So this is the most common protein deficiency disease, mainly occurring in the children between the age of 1 to 5 years. So there are many symptoms for this protein deficiency disease called kwashiorkor. The first symptom is stunted growth. Stunted growth, or the growth become reduced, or there is no growth occur for the children. Okay, and the second thing is skin become dry and scaly. Okay, the skin will become dry and scaly for the children who is suffering from kwashiorkor disease. And the third one is hair become reddish color. And the body of those children become swells due to the retention of water, and this condition is called oedema. Okay, so body swells due to the retention of water. The condition is called as oedema. And also the belly become large pot-like. Large pot-like belly is present. And the limbs and leg become thin and bony. Become thin and bony. So these are the major symptoms of the disease kwashiorkor. First one is stunted growth, that is there is no growth occur or the reduced growth, and the skin will become dry and scaly, and hair become reddish in color. Then body swells due to the retention of water. This condition is called as oedema. Okay. Then the large pot-like belly is present. Then limbs and leg become thin and bony. And the picture of a child having kwashiorkor disease is given in your textbook. Okay, just check it. And this is about protein deficiency disease. And then we moving on to protein, carbohydrate, fat deficiency disease, that is marasmus. That is the second disease that we are going to discuss. Protein, carbohydrate and fat deficiency disease, that is called marasmus. Due to the deficiency of protein, fat and carbohydrate, that deficiency disease is called as marasmus. There are many symptoms for this marasmus disease. Okay, the first one is body become very thin, lean and weak. Body become thin, lean and weak. So due to this weakness itself, the child cannot move. Okay. And the second thing is the child cannot move because the body is very weak. And the skin become dry, thin and wrinkled. Okay, skin become dry, thin and wrinkled. and the ribs of these children will become prominent and the eyes become sunken, and they are unable to digest and absorb the food that they eat. Okay, ribs become prominent, then eyes become sunken, then unable to digest and absorb the food. And the child will be suffering from severe diarrhea. So these are the major symptoms of the disease called marasmus, that is protein, carbohydrate, fat deficiency disease. All these nutrients will be deficient for these children, and this disease is occur for the children below 1 year age, that is infant children. Below 1 year age. Okay, this diseases will be occur for the children, infant children below 1 year age. So the major symptoms are body become thin, lean and weak. So due to this weakness, the child cannot move, and the skin become dry, thin and wrinkled, and the ribs become prominent, sunken eyes and unable to digest and absorb the food, and the most severe diarrhea also will appear. And the condition of this marasmus disease, it is also shown in your textbook. The picture of marasmus disease also given in your textbook. Okay, you can just look into that. And then we moving on to the next topic, that is vitamin deficiency diseases. As you all know that what are the importance of vitamins in our body, and there are many types of vitamin that we have studied, isn't it? Vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, that we have already studied and its functions, isn't it? So vitamin B we can also call it as vitamin B complex due to the presence of many types of vitamin B itself, B1, B6, B12, etc. This is we have discussed in our previous class itself. So now we are going to discuss the vitamin deficiency diseases for each vitamins. So the first one is vitamin A. Vitamin A. The deficiency of vitamin A will cause us night blindness. The disease condition called night blindness. So the major symptom of this night blindness is poor vision or cannot see in darkness. Okay, these are the symptoms of night blindness: poor vision and cannot see things in darkness or in night. Okay, and the second one is vitamin B1. The condition is called, the deficiency of vitamin B1 will cause us beriberi. And the symptoms of this beriberi are extreme weakness, then then swelling of legs, and also loss of appetite and weight. These are the symptoms of beriberi disease, that is extreme weakness, then swelling of legs, and loss of appetite and loss of weight. These are the symptoms. And the next one is vitamin C. Vitamin C. The deficiency disease of vitamin C is scurvy. Soft and bleeding gums are present for this condition. Soft and bleeding gums, and also loosening of the teeth occur, and it is take more time to heal the wounds. These are the 3 symptoms for scurvy. Next one is vitamin D. Rickets. The disease condition called rickets, and the major symptoms are soft and bent bones are present, so that it is easy to occur the fractures, and bowed legs due to the malformation of leg bones. Okay, and the leg pain is also there for rickets. These are the symptoms of rickets. So these are the deficiency diseases of each vitamins. Is it clear? Then we moving on to the next, that is mineral deficiency diseases. The most important minerals include iron, then iodine, calcium and fluorine. So these are the 4 minerals which is most importantly present in our body, and which the deficiency of these minerals will causes many deficiency diseases. The deficiency of iron will cause a condition called anemia. So for this condition, the lack of production of hemoglobin in blood will occur. That the lack of production of hemoglobin in blood is seen. Hemoglobin is the most important constituent of blood, isn't it? So it is prevented due to the lack of presence of iron. Iron is the most important component of hemoglobin. So this condition is called as anemia. Anemia, the symptoms are weakness, pale body, fatigue, then loss of appetite and weight. These are the symptoms of anemia. Okay. And the second one is iodine. The lack of iodine or the deficiency of iodine will lead to a condition called goiter. And the picture of goiter, each disease anemia goiter is given in your textbook. You can watch it. And goiter, there is a swelling in the large swelling in the neck region, that is the swelling of thyroid gland occurs in this condition, goiter. You must have seen that. And for goiter, the swelling of thyroid gland in neck region will be occur, and also there is effect of decrease in growth and the physical and mental growth of the organism or the person. That is, the mental illness will occur and the physical growth is also get stunted. So these are the symptoms of goiter. The major symptom is the swelling of thyroid gland. And the third one is calcium. Calcium deficiency disease is occurring by bone and teeth decay. Bone and teeth decay. So the bones and teeth will become weak, and also bleeding gums will occur, then stunted growth will occur, and weakness is also will be occur due to bone and teeth decay. Okay, weakness, then weak bones will be found, then bleeding gums will occur. These are the conditions or the symptoms occur for this bone and teeth decay. And the next one is the fluorine deficiency will cause us dental caries. That is, the teeth become highly sensitive to hot and cold food and drinks. So it is very much difficult to eat the extreme cold and hot things. Okay, and and there is pain in teeth also a symptom of fluorine. Okay, so fluorine is mainly effect for teeth. The fluorine deficiency affects in our teeth. So these are the important minerals to be studied for you, and the symptoms we have already discussed, and the disease condition called iron deficiency condition called anemia, iodine deficiency condition called goiter, and calcium deficiency will leads to bone and teeth decay. Fluorine deficiency will leads to dental caries. Is it clear? Okay. Then we are going to discuss about the effects of excessive intake of food. Okay. As we know that the excessive intake of food also will lead to many severe problems in our body. We know that all the nutrients and other elements like water, roughages, minerals, vitamins, carbohydrate, proteins, fats, all these nutrients and others will require in sufficient quantity in our body. Not much exceed quantity, not much reduced quantity. It is require a sufficient quantity for the proper functioning and growth of our body. But for today's life, we are eating many junk foods, isn't it? Many of you also like junk foods like burger, sandwich, then roasted chickens and soft drinks, etc. Isn't it? So it will lead to many problems. The consumption of these kinds of junk food will lead to many problems for us, that we will going to discuss about the excessive intake of food. So we know that protein is essential for our growth and maintenance, and also fat is essential for getting energy. But much excess quantity of these will lead to many problems also. The excess quantity of fat will lead to obesity. It is a major problem in our body, isn't it? The excessive weight increase is called as obesity. It is occur due to the accumulation of fat in our body. This condition is called as obesity, and this obesity will lead to many other conditions like hypertension, then diabetes. These are all the conditions will occur due to obesity, and obesity is the result of excessive intake of fat rich food items. like junk foods, then soft drinks, then more sugary items, etc. So these are the effects that will cause due to the excessive intake of fat rich food items. Okay, and how we can survive from this obesity, or how we can avoid this obesity? We can avoid obesity by doing physical exercises. Okay, physical exercise is necessary for maintaining our body healthy and fit. So through physical exercise, the excessive fat will be burned, so that the occurrence of obesity will not there. So physical exercise, sorry. So physical exercise is important to avoid these obese conditions. Okay, these are all about this chapter, and we have discussed about different components of food, the importance of balanced diet, and also the deficiency diseases like protein deficiency disease, then carbohydrate, fat, protein deficiency disease like marasmus, and also vitamin and mineral deficiency diseases, and also what are the effects of this excessive intake of food also. Is it clear to you? And if you have any doubt, you can ask me, and the rest of the activities will give you after the class. Okay, thank you.